You know, for years now, controller players have been constantly proving the point that, playing a controller in Fortnite is not only for the casual laid-back Fortnite player, but instead controllers can be used for serious competitive play, and even when competing against other pro players on keyboard and mouse. But your Cross Army, where you at? Your motivation guy is back. Today, we're going to discuss some of the most underrated tips and tricks that you need to know when playing competitively on a controller in Fortnite. You guys ready for this? Let's get this going. Click timing is a Fortnite mechanic that most keyboard and mouse players tend to overlook. Mainly because, keyboard and mouse players tend to flick their mouse across their mouse pad to get to their target as soon as possible. However, a lot of the time this means that they are just less accurate since they are completely flicking their shot in a predictive way rather than just taking the time to properly aim the crosshair on the enemy to ensure the most damage possible. And so since most of us controller players play on linear settings with a low to medium sensitivity, they are forced to use the click timing mechanic every single time they get into a shotgun fight. So if your aim isn't as sharp enough on the controller to deal the most amount of damage, every single pellet you shoot, you're not going to make it to the tip top of the Fortnite Pro tiers. So to sharpen up your aim, try these 2 easy steps. First, take your time, especially in shotgun fights. Don't just shoot the opponent immediately when you see them. Wait until you have a shot lined up and then just take that. Pros do this all the time, and so once you notice it, you won't stop noticing it. Especially if the enemy doesn't even know you're there. If you didn't know, crouching while aiming reduces the amount of sound you make significantly. So take advantage of this, guys. Creep up on the enemy and take them by surprise. All right. The next thing, sharpen up your aim in an aim trainer. There are tons of them that you can use, Kovacs, online aim trainers, and especially creative maps that are built especially to improve your aim and click timing. Maps like Raiders 1v1, Aim Duel map for, close range shotgun battles are especially important to use if you know you need to upgrade your aim. All in all, guys, when fighting other players close range with a controller, you must be precise and get the most amount of damage that you can get. Otherwise, those keyboard and mouse players are going to end up coming out on top with their fast reactions and flick shots. Okay, so whether you play on controller or keyboard, all right, you can always find room to improve, right? And one of the best ways to improve is with ProGuides.com. And we got a series of master courses designed and presented by some of the best players in the Fortnite scene. Let the best pros like Mongrel and Clicks talk you through exactly what they do to play so well, giving you guys in-depth breakdowns on their strategies and plays to help you guys improve at the game. All you need to do to get started is to hit the link in the top right-hand corner of this video. Alright guys, so before we get started on this one, we gotta let you guys know that this is the only tip on this list that involves having to spend a little bit of cash. So if you're not willing to invest some money to improve your game, just skip ahead a little to the next tip that we have in store for you, alright? Controllers have been a huge part of the gaming industry for a long time now, so there are just bound to be tons of modifications and products that you can take advantage of to be somewhat ahead of the curve and even further ahead of the general controller player base. One of the most game-changing controller mods that you can get for yourself in 2021 is by far thumbsticks, well known in the gaming industry as Control Freak. Control Freaks are just simple little rubber thumbsticks that you place on top of the joystick on your controller to make it taller. Making it taller means increasing the length of the joystick on your controller, meaning you're gonna have to move the joystick a wider distance to turn the same amount in-game, therefore improving the control that you have over how much you would turn in-game. It sort of feels similar to lowering your sensitivity in-game without the con of not being able to turn as quickly and sharply. And overall, man, Control Freaks give you more control over your joysticks, which means you can be more accurate and precise with your shotgun and AR. By the way, guys, there are many different brands of thumbsticks, so go out and do your own research on which one, definitely suits you the best. And remember that thumbsticks aren't, for everyone, and you might not enjoy the feel of it. One thing controller players have under their belt that keyboard and mouse players don't is the ability to move in 360 directions. Keyboard players, we know can only move in 8 different directions, using W, A, S, and D. Whereas controller players can move using their thumbsticks to go in absolutely any direction that they want to, man. In addition, controller players naturally have the ability to run at larger angles while looking in certain directions. Keyboard players can't do this without using a third-party plugin. And so since we controller players naturally, have these abilities, moving in these ways has become second nature to us. So it's definitely extremely important, man, to take advantage of this knowledge and implement it into your own piece control and close range fights. All right, so here are a few examples. When running, controller players can run parallel to any walls while still maintaining a good vision of any enemies moving behind the wall. Keyboard players without double movement binding have trouble doing this one. When close range fighting in a box fight, take advantage of the range of motion while moving left to right to throw off the enemy's aim. Mostly go towards the right of the player while spraying, since this way you're on the left side of the enemy screen with less field in view, making it harder to see and aim at you. However, don't be too predictable, guys. Go left sometimes, right? And just throw in a crouch and jump shot. So even while rotating, simply moving left to right sharply will throw off any enemy crossbow shots coming your way. So you don't want to be, an easy target for snipers.
Bunch of questions. Okay, guys, it's time for the question of the day. All right, today we want to know why you switched to a controller. If you're watching this video, the chances are that you're a controller player. So if you are, why did you make the choice to go from keyboard and mouse to controller? Let us know in the comments down below. We're going to check them out. All right, back to the video.
So, with all this secret information in mind, guys, it's always important to go back to the basics and really sharpen up your piece control drills on a creative map. So try to simply be aware of what you can use to your advantage while piece controlling enemies. And you're going to have a much higher chance of coming out on top. Maps such as Raiders 464's piece control edit cores are designed to hone in those skills frequently. Obviously by now, piece control is just no secret to the Fortnite player base, but we must reiterate that the ability to piece control enemies quickly on a controller while taking advantage of your movement mechanics is so important if you want to be able to eliminate players efficiently while, taking the least amount of damage possible. So if you want to survive in those high-tier late-game arena matches, you can't take too much damage from a fight. Otherwise, you're going to have a much higher chance of dying in the next fight you take since you're on low HP. So you're going to need all the help that you can get. Piece control ensures the need to deal damage without allowing the opponent to take any easy shots back at you, which stops you from taking too much damage. All right, so bunch of crunch army, it's time for this recap. All right, take advantage of click timing, guys. You've simply got to be able to hit those high damage shots, and utilizing click timing and being patient with your shots will enable a higher damage rate. And so with that being said, man, sharpening up your aim and an aim trainer can even be even more helpful in getting you those consistent 120 plus shotgun shots. All right. If you're serious about improvement and you want to go to the extra mile in your competitive career, rubber thumbstick extenders, man, like Control Freaks, can be extremely helpful in increasing your accuracy and precision. Control Freaks just give you more control. It's in the name. All right, guys, take advantage of that second nature controller movement. If you didn't know, keyboard and mouse players who use a third-party application for double movement have to readjust their entire playstyle once it's enabled, and it's pretty much resets their close range aim. It's important to understand how double movement works, since most of the casual player base doesn't, and utilizing it into your playstyle. Piece control and close range aim battles can make you win 10 times more fights. All right, guys, so when in doubt, go back to the basics, right? Piece control isn't, a hidden gem to the Fortnite player base, but being able to piece control enemies while using a controller is simply key to becoming a pro. You can't take too much damage from those late game fights, guys. Otherwise, you're gonna get yourself killed in the next fight you take. So being good at piece control dramatically decreases the chance of that happening to you.
All right, guys, bunch of crunch on me. Those were our secret controller tips that you need to know. Controllers has become more and more popular over the years in Fortnite. And while not many people can make it work at first, man, these days, they're just such incredible controller players showing up to every single tournament. And so if you want to play like the best, man, the tips that we spoke about today are a great place to start. Hey, if you guys liked the video, subscribe to the channel and make sure to connect with me on my Instagram at Your Motivation Guy. Man, I believe in you. You know I do. Yo, the sky is not even the limit, man. You can do anything you put your mind to. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.